recall the smell of fire and, the smoke and everything.
An apartment fire left 17 people without a place to stay overnight. What investigators are saying started that blaze.
We're tracking much colder temperatures across the region over the next couple of days, but still very little in the way of rain.
And it's been 40 years since the federal government recognized the HIV/AIDS crisis. We'll take a look at the memorial to honor those lost to the virus.
Well, good evening. It's great to have you with us. I'm Dana Marie McNichol. Our top story of the night, firefighters responded to an apartment fire in Spokane Valley last night, displacing at least 4 families that are now receiving aid from the Red Cross. Our Ian Smay spoke to a woman whose home was destroyed. He has more on what caused that fire.
I recall the smell of fire and, the smoke and everything.
A fire ripped through this apartment building in Spokane Valley on Friday night, shortly after 7 p.m. Fire officials say a propane barbecue placed too close to flammable materials on a second-story balcony caused the fire. They ask that people keep an eye on their grills and don't use them on balconies. Luckily, the Spokane Valley Fire Department says there were no injuries in the blaze, but 17 people will not be sleeping in their beds tonight. Gloria Lisboa is one of those people.
My stuff is all there. It's stinky. My walls are all gray, very up-to-date, stylish gray kind of. But, yeah, it smells bad and,
Lisboa is a local bus driver. She wasn't home when the fire started and was shocked when she heard what was going on.
When she spoke to me, it left me dumbfounded. I couldn't speak. I gagged up the way I'm doing now. It's, it's bad. It's not a good feeling to come home and your home is burnt up. It really isn't.
She is staying at a hotel with help from her renter's insurance. Luckily, despite the smoky smell, all of her belongings are fine. The units around her weren't so lucky.
All the neighbors that I have on the same side as myself, we were all affected, but the apartment above me, I'm on the 2nd floor, they're on the 3rd, they had to go out completely because now they have a skyline in their living room because the fire went above the rooftop.
The Red Cross says it's helping 4 families that were displaced by the fire. There is no exact timetable set for when those families may be able to return, if their units aren't too severely damaged. In all, the Spokane Valley Fire Department says that the fire took about 10 minutes to control, but in that time, 2 apartments suffered heavy damage, with 5 others suffering smoke damage. 1 unit also suffered water damage. At least 11 trucks responded to the blaze. We'll have a better idea of the full extent of the damage to the affected units in the coming days. Fire investigators will also do a full report on how the fire started. In Spokane Valley, Ian Smay, KREM2 News.
Thanks so much, Ian, for that report. Well, Kootenai County Sheriff's offices are searching for a suspect involved with an apparent arson at Silverwood Theme Park. Officers responded to a fire on the park's wooden roller coaster early this morning. They were able to put out that fire before the flames spread to any other rides. Now authorities say it appears someone snuck in and intentionally set the fire. They're asking anyone who saw anything suspicious to contact the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. And burn restrictions are still set in place this weekend due to high temperatures in the forecast and the lack of rain in our area. Under the restrictions, all recreational fires are not allowed. Fire marshals around Spokane County issued the restrictions Friday to reduce the number of human-caused wildfires. Unauthorized open burning and recreational fires are restricted until other orders are lifted. If someone is found with an illegal burning fire, they could be charged with a misdemeanor. And after days of record-breaking temperatures, it feels like things are starting to finally cool down. Michelle Boss is joining us from the Outdoor Weather Center to tell us what we can expect for the weekend.
And those cooler temperatures have arrived on some pretty gusty winds. My hair's going to be a little bit windblown once I get back into the studio because it's been really windy out here, so bear with me. But we are seeing much cooler temperatures across the region. Certainly no more 90s in the forecast, and it may actually be on the chilly side the next couple of mornings. As we look at the forecast lows for Sunday morning, you can see down to 40 in Deer Park, but some of those northern valleys may even dip down into the upper 30s, looking for lower 40s in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. So don't be surprised if you have to head out early morning for church or anything like that, and it's a little bit on the chilly side. Well, speaking again of the wind, here's a look at the sustained wind speeds right now. Spokane seeing some of the highest out in Pullman as well, 28 miles per hour out of the southwest, but we've seen wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. In fact, that's actually the peak wind gust right now at the Spokane airport. Wind gusts anywhere though from 25 miles per hour to nearly 40 miles per hour, even out in the Moses Lake area. Fortunately, those winds should start to come down later this evening, and it will not be as windy tomorrow. We have had a little bit of shower activity, even a little bit of thunder out there, but for even the folks seeing that shower activity, the total rainfall has not amounted to much, generally less than a couple of hundredths of an inch, as you can see on radar. The Spokane Airport has not really seen anything in the way of rain, but the Spokane Valley, even out towards Green Acres, Liberty Lake, out towards Post Falls and Coeur d'Alene, got a few sprinkles. Again, rainfall amounts have been light, certainly nothing that's really helping out our drought conditions. Here's what we're looking at over the next 3 days. Cooler than average temperatures, highs in the lower to mid 60s the next couple of days. I did go ahead and add a little rainfall icon for Sunday night into Monday morning, looking for a couple of sprinkles, but that's about it. High temperatures back into the 70s by Tuesday.
A welcomed cool down. Thank you so much, Michelle. Now to a disturbing trend in Idaho. Law enforcement continues to warn the community about a sharply increasing deadly overdose over the past few weeks. In late May, there were several deaths related to the powerful narcotic fentanyl. Our Morgan Traub got an exclusive look at the dangerous and deadly drug.
The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says fentanyl is continuously popping up all over the county. It's so powerful that just 2 grains of this extremely potent and very deadly drug can be enough to kill someone.
We got well over 100 pills here. Each one of those is a ticking time bomb.
Sheriff's Office Sergeant and Drug Trafficking Unit member John Brandel says the scariest part about illicit fentanyl is that there is no quality control. That means within the same batch of pills, one could have no amount of the drug, but another could have a deadly dose. And it's nearly impossible to tell which drugs are real and which are counterfeit.
Maybe these ones? These ones look the most legitimate.
Okay. Out of all of them, those are actually the least legitimate as far as the color of the actual pill. But in actuality, all of these are counterfeit pills that contain fentanyl.
Not all fentanyl-related products look like little circular pills.
Even somebody who is knowingly taking heroin, this heroin is cut with fentanyl.
For Brandel, the fight has quickly become exhausting, and he's tired of the common excuse that it's just a few bad people selling and doing drugs.
Kids in school, you have soccer moms, you have medical professionals, people that get hooked on it because they had a medical need for it, they were prescribed it, and it kind of spiraled out of control.
He says there's no easy solution. The opioid epidemic can't be solved by law enforcement alone. The solution needs to come from the broader community, because right now, the problem isn't getting better, but worse. Morgan Trow, KREM2 News.
Thank you so much, Morgan, for that report. Now, today marks 40 years since the Centers for Disease Control published the first report of what would come to be known as HIV and AIDS. According to the World Health Organization, the disease has killed 33 million people worldwide, and an estimated 38 million people are living with HIV.
I remember their stories, their faces. I remember their occupations. I remember how they dealt with this undiagnosed illness that had no cause and no name, with incredible strength and understanding and grace.
In San Francisco today, people gathered for a wreath-laying ceremony to honor those who died from the virus. From food trucks to splash pads, after the break, we're going to take a look around town at what you can do over the weekend.